Hi YouTube, it's your girl Stacy back with another video, and today we are making Jamaican style oxtail. So excited to get this recipe started with you. Let's just jump right into it. So I have some pre-seasoned oxtail that I let sit for 2 days, and these are the ingredients that I use. Look at this colorful array of green, red, and yellow peppers, some thyme, some beef bouillon cubes, garlic, ginger, scallion, onions, two Scotch bonnet peppers, and some coconut milk, some oil, I also have some liquid beef stock. Finally got my hands on some browning. I'm so happy. And some brown sugar. And I couldn't find any butter beans, so to all my Jamaican friends, forgive me. I found some white kidney beans. It looked like it, so it's just gonna have to work. In the end, it does. But I just wanted to make mention of that, since I know you noticed it. I'm gonna add a little bit of my Scotch bonnet salt to it, just to give it a little extra added flavor. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the key ingredient to this. Unlike the other stewed oxtail that I made, I'm adding the browning, and I'm gonna get that nice and brown and dark. I got my hands all up in there because you know what? This is the joy of me cooking. I like to be hands on. Yeah, some of y'all want me to put some gloves on. I get it. I'll get my hands in some gloves and I will do it. But guess what? My hands are clean and the food always come out nice. All right. So you're going to go ahead and add that brown into your already seasoned meat. Now, the seasonings that I used were the same seasonings that I had on my other stewed oxtail video, which was basically, salt, pepper. I have some oxtail seasoning, some all-purpose. Oh God, look at that meat. Yeah, I had to stop for a minute because I almost forgot. Yeah. All right, so I have, the basics to get it seasoned, and most importantly, my green seasoning, which I also have a video for that coming up for you shortly. So we're gonna start, of course, with the obvious. We're gonna brown up some sugar. Yes, we're gonna get that good and caramelized in the pot so that we can get our beef, I should say our oxtail, which is beef, but you understand what I mean. The oxtail nice and browned up nicely in that caramelized brown sugar that's going on down there. So I'm going to add piece by piece, and this process did take some time because, as you know, I do like to make sure I brown off all my meat and get a good sear on it, and make sure that it's got that flavor sealed and locked in. So after that first batch is done, you're going to take it out, set that aside, and you're going to repeat this step until all of it is good and brown and got that nice coating and all those juices that you see at the bottom of the pan, that nice dark caramelized goodness. You're going to get all your meat covered in all of that. And when I get to the last batch, that's when I will proceed with adding all the meat and getting ready for the next step. So this is what's happening right now. Me just taking it out. I tried to do my best to speed through this as quickly as possible, but as you can see, the meat is looking nice, eh? I know. I know. Because one thing I do know how to make, I will say this, I can make me some oxtail. That is my signature dish. I can make oxtail, anything oxtail, because I know how to handle oxtail very well. It is just such a beautiful and delicate piece of meat. And to think that this piece of meat was something that our ancestors used to receive as scrap meat. It's what the slave owners did not want. And lo and behold, you go to the market today, I'm telling you, for like, I want to say 2 pounds of meat, it was almost $100. I was like, well, damn. But to go back and think of history in terms of like how this meat has evolved, and how the demand for it now is just ridiculous when before it wasn't even in demand. But you know what? My people, my black people made something of it. So I'd like to think that this has been passed down to me from my ancestors, knowing how to handle me some oxtail. All right, enough chat. So we're gonna move on to the next part, which is, like I said, once you have it all browned, you're gonna go right ahead and you're gonna start combining all the other ingredients, which would be the veggies and stuff like that. So I did take a little taste to see how it was coming along. A lot of taste, nice. And it's not even done yet. Like the meat's not even cooked, okay? Because we've got about a 3-hour process. So I'm gonna add that beef stock to the leftover liquid that the meat was, the bowl that the meat was sitting in. I'm just gonna fill it right on up. I'm using the entire thing because why not? It's gonna be cooking and boiling down on the stove for a good 3.5 hours. So let me just use all of it. We're gonna start off with some garlic and ginger. Get that in there, mix it up nice and good. Next, we're going to add our onions. Then we move on to our green onion or scallion, whatever you choose to call it. Pop that in there. Give it a good mix, because at this point, this pot is just sizzling. All the natural fatty oil from the oxtail has drawn down to the bottom of the pot, and things are just sizzling. Everything smells so good. Ooh, Lord. Then, oh Lord, look at that. I purposely set them up like that because it's just so pretty. But you're going to add your peppers in there. Mix that up. It's becoming full now. It's getting a little difficult to mix. But you know what? It's all mixing up nicely. Take your time when you're doing this because, like I said in the other video with the stewed oxtail that wasn't done in the Jamaican manner, this is a labor of love. I love to make this dish, which is probably why I want to say it's my signature dish, because all the love that goes into it. We have a tomato going in there. I use 1 large Italian tomato. And I'm actually going to go ahead and add a nice dollop of ketchup. Mix everything together. It's so pretty. It's so colorful. It's just, this dish is just coming alive, and it's not even done yet. What's happening now is that we are marrying all the flavors together. And to seal the deal, we're going to add the beef broth into the pot. And we're going to let that stew and simmer down for about an hour. There goes that Scotch bonnet. You know y'all were waiting for it. Y'all were waiting for it. You're like, she put the salt in with the Scotch bonnet. Is she gonna go ahead and add one? Yes, I am. I use 2. And I also add me some thyme. I had bought this thyme fresh about a day ago, and I let it dry out. We got some of the allspice pimento berries going in. But back to the thyme, and I bought a whole bushel, and I said, rather than putting it in the freezer, I'm just gonna let it dry out, because when I put it in the freezer, it just turns black and falls off the stick, and which is cool, but I can't dry it. And then I'm gonna use an entire can. This is 1 can, because I did use 2 in the end. This is the first can that I'm pouring of the coconut milk to this. If y'all only knew how good it is smelling up this kitchen of mine, because wow. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more browning because I felt like the color was lightened a little bit too much because of the coconut milk. In the end, it all turned out just fine. You'll get to that in a moment. It soon come, man. Just hold on, hang in there. You're about to watch this whole process. After an hour, I go ahead and check it. Of course, always tasting, realizing that it needs some green seasoning. Yeah, and I made a little mess, but it is what it is. That's a new fresh batch that I made. I'm looking forward to having that video posted for y'all to see because I have been getting asked a lot of questions on, okay, you keep talking about this green seasoning. How do we make it? Green seasoning, epis, or sofrito, whatever you, sofrito, lo siento, es sofrito. They say it in Spanish. So your green seasoning video is coming up shortly after this one. I decided now that it would be a good time to add 2 bay leaves to this mix, which I sometimes do at the top, but I just realized that I didn't do it at the beginning. And it doesn't matter because this is, like I said, I'm going to cook for about 3.5 hours stovetop. So I'm adding it and mixing it and marrying in all those flavors and tasting. I did also go ahead and add 2 beef stock cubes to the mix. This is the second hour where I took out the old Scotch bonnet and now I'm adding a new one because it does need a little kick. And rather than go back in with more bouillon, I'm adding some hot water to it. Just enough to cover the meat. And I'm going to let that just stew down while I go and mind my business doing other things. Me and my happy dance. So this is the 3-hour mark. I'm adding more coconut milk just because I feel like it needs a little more richness of the coconut milk. I added some of the kidney beans, the white kidney beans. I went with half a can at first and then realized, put the whole thing in there, just the whole can. So I put the whole can in and it looks a lot better. So I'm happy, very happy, because now we're coming down towards the end and I waited till like the last 30 minutes to add the beans because I just didn't want them to get too soggy. And what I really appreciate about the Jamaican style, ooh, look at that piece of oxtail, eh? What I really like about the Jamaican style oxtail is that with the beans in it, it creates a thickness to it. So the oxtail was done. I set that aside. And then I decided that, you can't have oxtail without some nice rice and peas. So you already know how the rice and peas process goes. It's in the original stewed oxtail video, but I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of what I was working with and what I will be eating with this lovely, lovely dish. You're going to remove all that stuff that floats to the top, which is the thyme, the green onions, excuse me, and the Scotch bonnet pepper that was in there. And once that's done, you just cover it with some foil and put the lid on and just let it steam until you're ready to make your plate. Speaking of which, so I just thought I'd show y'all how I try to make it fancy for everybody. I put it in one of my little metal bowls, and then you flip and I try to make it as presentable as possible for you guys to see. I did not want to do like a video of me the zooming in and stuff. I just wanted to show you this because I did get asked. And there's the finished product. Oh Lord. I love cooking, And I decided to make this oxtail for my coworkers. We're currently working on a feature film, and they kept saying, well, where do you get some good oxtail here in Toronto? And of course, I had to obviously come through with some oxtail for them. And there it is, y'all. There it is. Mm-mm-mm. There's the oxtail. You see how everything cook up nice, nice, nice. Oh, God, man. Yep. And the meat was nice and tender. Whew. In the words of Medea, I done put my foot in it. Not literally. If people didn't see Diary of a Mad Black Woman and you're like, she put her foot in it, you have to see Diary of a Mad Black Woman in order to understand what I meant by that. But in the words of Siobhan, she said, girl, you put both feet in this. I did the thing. And yeah, I couldn't wait. I did not stop recording because y'all need to see just how delicious and beautiful and tender this meat is. The nice brown. It definitely has a different taste from the other stewed oxtail that I had made. Something about this, something about the way Jamaicans do it. A lot of mercy. Yeah, this is it right here. I'm so glad that I was able to share this video with y'all. Clearly, I'm happy. I'm happy because it tastes good, and I'm really proud of it. So, and then I hit it with my new batch of hot sauce, which a lot of mercy when I tell you the thing hotter than the last one. This one's my secret recipe. I can't share this one with y'all. That recipe for that hot sauce is just for my son and daughter. But maybe they'll tell you one day, but I'm taking the recipe for this one to my grave. So sorry. But there it is. There's the oxtail looking nice, looking delicious. Brown and stewed down good and ready for my belly. God, I'm so greedy. I love that I'm greedy. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure making this video for you. And please don't you ever, ever forget that God is so good all the time. And all the time, God is good, y'all. Take care.